So hello friends, welcome to my channel The Coding Sage, and today we are here to discuss about how to start competitive programming in 2021. So before I dive into the topic, let me briefly tell you about myself. I am the Coding Sage and I have been doing competitive programming for quite a years now, and it has really helped me. Because of competitive coding only, I was able to crack a job at Microsoft. So today I am here to share you about how I started competitive programming or how you should start competitive programming in 2021. So before we dive into how to start competitive programming, there are two questions which we should ask ourselves. First is, what is competitive programming and why should I start competitive programming? What is there in it for me? What is the need for me to start competitive programming? So let's start with the first question. What is competitive programming? So if you search for the official definition, it basically comes like competitive programming is a mind sport usually held over the internet or a local network, involving participants trying to program according to provided specifications. Contestants are referred to as sport programmers. Competitive programming is recognized and supported by several multinational software and internet companies such as Google and Facebook. There are several organizations who host programming competitions on a regular basis. So, in plain terms, if I want to explain you what is competitive programming is basically you are given a set of problems, and for each problem there are set of test cases. So what you have to do is you have to code a solution for that particular problem, and your whatever code or program which you have written will be run against those test cases. So based on how much test cases your program is able to pass, based on that you will get a score, and those who get the highest score basically wins the competition, and then similarly there is first, second, third, fourth places. So yeah, so this is the basic definition of competitive programming. So you can see here Facebook, Google, Microsoft, and many more companies hold these competitive programming competitions. Now the second important question is, why should I start competitive programming? So there are three categories of people who may be watching this video. So first is a school student. Why a school student should start competitive programming. Second is college student, and third is the working employee. So let's go with the school student first. So if you are a school student right now, but you are interested in logics, mathematics, and computer science, then I would recommend you that definitely start to explore what is competitive programming. Definitely you should start to deep dive in competitive programming. At least you should see what actually is competitive programming and how you can get started with it. So what will happen by doing competitive programming when you are in school? So it will help you to basically increase your logical reasoning, and also will open a whole new world of programming to you. And there are many coding competitions which are being held for school students as well, like Google Coding, Indian Computing Olympiad, Indian Sports Programming Championship, and many more. And the second category of people who want to start competitive programming would be the college students. So these are the major audience who want to start competitive programming. So these are the college students. So why so what is the benefit for a college student to start competitive programming? So the benefit is it will help to improve your logical and designing thinking. Second, it will help you to get internship. Third, it will help you in your college placements, and it is a fun way of learning things. So let me tell you more about the college placements here. So there are two types of placements which happen. One is the on-campus placement and second is the off-campus placements. So in on-campus placement, what happens, that company comes to your college and basically they have some restrictions, like you must be from a particular branch or you must have particular CGPA in order to sit for the interviews. So on-campus placements are generally very restrictive in the sense that many of the top 10 top companies may even not visit your college. So you can see that you may not be even given an opportunity to sit for an interview because either the company doesn't come to your college or you may be not from a particular branch. But Through off-campus placement, generally branch and your college doesn't matter. What matter is basically your skill. So generally for a company, when he wants to hire employees from off-campus placements, so they generally do it by holding programming competitions. So anyone who has a bachelor's degree can sit for that programming competition and show his skill over there. So that's why competitive programming is very, very important in getting placements. And even though you may be sitting for an on-campus placement, even then the competitive programming helps you, because the first round of any on-campus interview is basically a competitive programming competition only. So basically it is like you will be given a set of problems and you have to basically code the solution for them, which is very similar to what we do in competitive programming. So yeah, so competitive programming helps you getting placement in the top companies, whether it is on-campus placement or off-campus placement. So many companies like Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon, and many companies hire employees through off-campus placements also. So you have a great opportunity to apply in those companies if you know competitive programming very well. And third is the working employee. So even you may be working right now, even then you can start competitive programming if you want to upgrade your career, increase your salary, get into your dream tech companies. So yeah, so even a working employee can start competitive programming. And these are the name of some coding competitions which are held throughout the year, like Google Code Jam, the ACM ICPC. The ACM ICPC is especially for the college students. Then we have Google Code Jam, Google Hash Code, Microsoft Imagine Cup, Facebook Hacker Cup, and many more. So now comes the most important question: how to start competitive programming. So this video is for those who have started competitive programming and are feeling lost, or for those who are yet to start it. So before I start, there are two necessary ingredients for competitive programming. So if you want to start competitive programming, you should have these two things. First is patience and second is practice. You should have patience that competitive programming will take some time and it will require a lot and lot of practice. So the first question is choosing a programming language. So I would recommend you that you choose a well-known programming language. So though the programming competition may allow you to code in any of the language which are available, but I would recommend that you should start your competitive programming journey with a well-known programming language. And these are the three languages which I would recommend: C++, Java, or Python. So generally, most of the top coders code in C++, but still there are some top coders who code in Java as well. Yeah, and Python is also there, but not that popular among in coding competition. So first one is C++, second is Java, and third is Python. So you can choose any of these language. The second important question is choosing a platform website for practice and competition. So there are innumerable websites which you can find on internet which are claiming of teaching you coding competition and all those stuff. But here I have handpicked few of them especially for you so that it can help you start your coding journey. So if you are a beginner, you should first start with HackerRank because it has a very good graphical user interface. Second, you can see the test cases for which your program failed. Thirdly, it has a very nice system of categories. So basically it has one category for algorithm, one for data structure. Then you can click on data structure, then it will have further subcategories for arrays, stack, queues, and you can click on arrays and then it will have further subcategories like easy, medium, hard. So I would recommend go to HackerRank first and solve all the easy problem in the category algorithm and in the category data structure. After you have done that, then I would recommend go to Spoj. So Spoj is a website which has a huge set of problems stored. So you can go to Spoj and solve the top 100 most solved questions. Yeah. After you have done that, then you can go to CodeChef. So in CodeChef, I would recommend first you sit for the long challenge. Why? Because long challenge are 10 days long, which gives you enough time to think about the solution of a problem. So suppose you encounter a problem and you try to search for the solution, like some similar problems over internet, and you find out that this particular problem which came in contest can be solved with the help of segment tree, but you don't know what is segment tree. But 10 days is good enough that you can learn segment tree, learn the implementation, and code the solution for that problem which came in CodeChef Long Challenge. So that's why I would recommend start with the CodeChef Long Challenge, and then subsequently you can move to the cook off and lunchtime, and also you can start parallel coding in Codeforces. So Codeforces also host many competition, and every week generally there is a competition in Codeforces, so you can participate in that. So this is the first thing, like start with HackerRank, go to Spotch, go to CodeChef Long Challenge, and then you can go to CodeChef Short Challenge and simultaneously to Codeforces competition as well. And the third important thing is learning data structure. So data structure is one of the fundamentals for competitive programming. So here I have mentioned few selected data structure which you should know while starting your competitive programming journey. So you may encounter all this data structure in your competitive programming journey. So I have mentioned here, you can pause the video and look into them. Now I will go to the second thing, learning algorithms. So algorithm is also the fundamental base of your competitive programming journey. So you need to know the algorithm. So there are various algorithms like graph algorithm, dynamic programming, number theory, and a lot of other which I mentioned here. You can pause the video and have a look at them. Yeah, now the question which will come into your mind is where to learn data structure and algorithm from. So these are some websites which I have mentioned and books which I have mentioned where you can learn data structure and algorithms from. My personal favorite is Geeks for Geeks, from which I have learned many of the data structures and algorithm. And Khan Academy is also good for learning mathematics. Then there is NPTEL lectures, and then there is platforms like LeetCode where you can ask for some questions and get some solutions. And there are books like Introduction to Algorithm, which we call as CLRS, Introduction to Algorithm, which is a very nice book if you want to deep dive in the algorithmic field. And then there is book called Competitive Programming by Stephen Halim, that is also very good book. And then there is YouTube. So YouTube also has a large content of data structure and algorithm which you can take advantage of. So yeah, so these are some of the sources where you can learn data structure and algorithms from. Now we have come to the last part of the video. So lastly, I want to tell you that please have patience and please practice a lot and have fun while you do the competitive programming. Don't take it as a burden. Try to enjoy the process of learning new things while you're in the journey of competitive programming. And lastly, if you enjoyed this video, please like the video and please subscribe to my channel, The Coding Sage. It will motivate me to make more such content for free for all of you guys sitting there. Thank you.